What's up, everybody? If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the most important smokes that I tend to use on Mirage, and hopefully there's something for everybody. I've tried to use some of the most common smokes in this particular video. Maybe some of them are a bit different from the ones that you know, and let's just jump straight into the first one. So enjoy the video. So the first smoke I'm gonna show you guys is the connector smoke. This can be thrown from this lineup right here, where you tuck yourself into the trash can spot. And on the carpet you have this staircase-like pattern. You wanna aim at the bottom right here, where there's a 90-degree angle, and do a jump throw. The good thing about this connector smoke is that it's gonna land and bounce and land on this second stair on the staircase. This means that it blocks off any view for the CTs to look onto catwalk. So imagine you pair this with a window smoke and you have a nice lane straight onto catwalk, onto B, where you might find the player lurking on short, and you can kill him and get a free entrance into B side. Next up, you want to do the same lineup right here in spawn. This is for a cross smoke. There's two ways of throwing this. The most common one is where you aim at the lower section of the antenna right here. This smoke is gonna land slightly deep for my liking. I tend to do this where it lands and bounces off the step or the staircase. And the way you do this lineup is by looking at this wire and where the wire intersects with the antenna. Or you can look at where like the foot of the antenna is intersecting with the wire. You just do a left click throw. The reason why I use this smoke and not the other one is because this smoke blocks off the full vision for the CTs, both in window and in connector. So you get a free line into top mid behind the boxes and the card. And as you can see, if I were to look for window, I wouldn't be able to see the T's. And if I were to push into connector as a CT, I wouldn't be able to hold the line right here. So now let me just demonstrate the other smoke. And it's gonna land something like this. This is not exactly that one, but close enough. So if I were a CT and I wanted to push into connector, I could hold this line of sight with an AWP maybe, and maybe get one of the T's that try to push into top mid and hide behind the boxes. And that's why I use the first lineup. Alright, the third smoke I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna stay in mid for the first lineup. This smoke is the top connector smoke, and it has 3 different lineups. The most common one is this one where you tuck in between the boxes and the cart and top mid. And on this palm leaf right here, where you have these two kind of like split section of the leaf, you want to line up your crosshair like this. If you need to check your smoke, you can use this antenna, and I'm going to enhance this in the video, but then on your smoke grenade you have this like small ball point on top of the grenade where the pin is gonna thrust off, I guess, when you release a smoke grenade. And you just want to line it up so it's slightly above the antenna. Then this is gonna line up perfectly with where I tend to put my crosshair. So you can kind of like double check this lineup if you want to. And then you just do a left click through. This smoke is gonna land right in front of the doorway, but at the upper part of the computer, right? And it serves the same purpose as the low one, where you can see onto catwalk as a CT, but it also doubles down as a lurk smoke. So let's say 2 terrorists has maybe pushed into connector, maybe just 1, but usually 2, so you can trade, right? You have the opportunity to lurk onto the stairs, maybe get a kill on jungle. And let me just rethrow the smoke. I have a bind for that, so I can do the exact same smoke. So imagine I pushed through the smoke right here. I can maybe kill the stair player that might be holding, let's say, Palace, if they think we're on doing an A hit. Or I can kill the jungle guy, the bench guy, or maybe the CT ticket guy if he's holding. So this smoke is very useful. The second lineup for the same smoke is by this door frame right here. You tuck yourself into the door frame, and you can remember it by finding this dark area or dark spot in the door frame. Then on the tip of this antenna right here, you do a jump throw. the lineup or the landing of the grenade is going to be slightly different, but it's going to do the trick anyway. The last lineup for this grenade or smoke is right here, close to palace entrance, but on the other side of the fencing. Then you have this chimney right here, and the overhang of the chimney. You want to aim right below it and in the center of the chimney. And you also do a jump throw right here. So these are the 3 different lineups for the top connector smoke. It's a very useful smoke that I don't feel like enough people are using, so I can highly recommend it. Alright, we're gonna stay on A side for a moment. The next smoke is a classic one. This is for the CT ticket. So you line up right by this wall right here that has an angle, and on this tower you have this wooden beam sticking out. You want to aim dead center on this wooden beam and do a normal jump throw. This smoke is going to land on top of the box right here, which means that even if the CTs try to jump on top of the box, they won't be able to. They have to go all the way up to ticket right here. And if they do that, they're going to get killed, right? For the next one, there's a second lineup for this smoke, especially if you have someone pushed out onto the side. I just want to move the CT model right here, maybe further down, yeah, like this for the jump up. So let's say you have one player that manages to sneak through the smoke that might be thrown here by ramp and get into this position where Tetris is, or at Tetris. So on these wooden pallets right here, you have this dark area. And then you have this line in between the bricks. So you tuck yourself into the corner, you line up with this dark section and follow this center line between the bricks all the way down to the middle. And from here you do a jump throw. And this is gonna do the same thing. It's also gonna land in CT spawn. Maybe not as good as the first one, but it's still good enough that even if the CTs push onto the balcony or the box right here, it's going to be fairly simple for you to spot them because they're pretty visible. And if you do the lineup even better than I did, I think you can actually manage to get it even closer to the box, maybe slightly in the front right here. And then it's not going to be possible for the CTs to watch over it. As I said, we're going to stay on A side, and the next smoke is going to be for stairs. So you have this wooden beam right here, where you want to tuck yourself in between the wall and the wooden beam. Then looking at the wall, by turning like 180 degrees, you find this like white piece in between the bricks, and you want to aim right here where this like cross section is. You can tend to, if you have a hard time remembering, try to look for this dark spot on the brick, and then just, you need to know that it's this angle right here. So for the stair smoke, you don't do a normal left click or a right click, you do a right left click, and as you can see, like the tracer for the grenade is moving further down. That's when I'm holding my left click right now, and then I'm pushing down my right click as well. So this is kind of like a middle click. You want to do middle click jump throw. This blocks off the view for stairs. Alright, moving quickly on. By the same spot right here, where we just throw the stair smoke, you want to aim at the top left of this brick on top of the wall. Just left click throw it. Because this one is going to do bench. I'm just going to try to show them in pair with each other. So now the bench smoke is active, and then the stairs smoke is active. Usually you throw the stairs one first, and then you have nice coverage for entering A side. Now you can get spotted from stairs or jungle. The last smoke I'm gonna show from this particular area, because there's 3 different smokes that you can throw, maybe more. I just know these three, and I think these are enough for almost everybody. You still want to do the same lineup, but if you aim on the right side of this brick on top of the wall and just do a left click throw, you smoke jungle. So this is the first one, jungle smoke, or that jungle smoke has 2 different lineups. Once again, imagine that you have a player that manages to get out Tetris. You want to find this green overhang, window overhang, and by this, You have this piece of wood right here. You want to find this corner and aim directly into the sky. It's fairly simple. You can even aim slightly to the right, maybe even slightly to the left, but just try to aim straight down from this piece of wood. And from here, you just left click throw. And this is going to land in jungle as well, as you can see. Alright, it's time for some B smokes. For some reason, I feel like most players don't use B smokes, maybe because they don't know them or just don't want to use them. But in many of my games, I feel like people just try to rush out of B apps, and then they get mollied, grenaded, and then they get shot by maybe a MP9 or something like that. So the first smoke I'm going to show you is for the window, market window. And you line up in this corner right here by the large door frame, or the tunnel door frame. And then you aim at the top of this tower right here, where you have this overhanging lip of stones, as so, and then you do a jump throw. This is gonna go all the way over the tower and land in the window. Maybe it bounces off right now. I'm not doing the lineup right as of yet. Just gonna kill that smoke grenade. I don't know. I feel like this is the lineup I tend to use. Maybe I'm just slightly low. Let's do it a little higher and do it one more time. As you can see, this is gonna bounce into the window. This is actually odd because usually it caps, like it hits the wood right here in the window and breaks the wood. For some reason I did this, I practiced this before trying to do this lineup, and for some reason I'm doing everything but exactly what I did before. Let's just do it one more time for good measurements, because this is usually what you're gonna expect to do, or to happen, and now we did it. So it landed inside the window, which is really nice. And as I said, mostly, or most of the times, the CTs will kill, or not kill, will block or remove this piece of wood right here, and the smoke is gonna be even better. So I'm gonna rethrow it with a bind that I have, and now you can see the smoke is gonna land even deeper into the window, which means there's less smoke outside the window. The reason why you want it to land inside the window is because if it lands outside, it's okay. It's still gonna serve its purpose, but you need to be aware that the CTs might try to silently jump out the window and then push through either one of the sides of the smoke, because it's gonna be way wider. So if it lands something like this, the CTs have much more space to move around, right? And this actually leaves the option for them to push around the smoke, maybe catch a T player that's trying to hold short or is not aware, and then you can get onto the side and kill the planter, maybe spot bench, and then you have a full-on retake going on. Now that you've seen the market window, let's do the market door. And the way you line up for this smoke is by coming to these trash bags right here. Note that your player model is gonna feel like it gets stuck on this trash bag right here, which is actually what we want. Just gonna demonstrate. My model is just gonna stop, but even if I hold W, at some point I will kind of like glitch on top of these trash bags. Move until you get stuck, and then you have this wooden beam going perpendicular to the window frame, and you want to find the intersection between the window frame and the wooden beam, and then just move your crosshair slightly outwards. From here, you just do a jump throw. And this is going to land at the door in front of market. So these smokes, like the window smoke for market and the door smoke for market, are very good to use if you use them simultaneously, right? Because then you have a nice block for the CT rotation. You can get onto the side, and then you have isolated maybe the B anchor and the short guy who might be playing Edward. And if the anchor is playing car or bench, then you don't have to worry about the CTs. They might come storming out the smokes, but that's usually a disadvantage for them, right? Alright, I'm gonna display both the market door and the market window smokes once again, but this time imagine that you have one player that's gotten behind truck. Usually maybe you get 2 to 3 people out the windows if you do rush, and now you have one player stuck here behind the truck. This player have the option to tuck into the oil can right here. And on this wall of the housing, where this flower pot is overhanging, you can aim dead center and do a left click throw. And this is gonna land inside the marker door. The reason why you want to bounce it off the wall is if you tend to do like this, try to just throw it straight over the van, it's not gonna do its purpose. Like, it's not gonna serve its purpose. It's gonna land way too deep in market, and even if I try to do a left right click throw, it's gonna land short. So you always want to bounce it off this wall for it to land inside the doorway, and then block off as much as possible. And the last smoke is for window, once again on B side, and this is thrown from the default position on side. So you found yourself onto site, you have your teammate behind the truck who's gonna smoke off the window, or not the window, door. You can smoke off the window from this position. I use this square in the metal frame right here as my lineup, and then you have this dark like dirt on the wall and this small dark piece on dirt on the wall, and you want to line up in between those two and do a jump throw. This is gonna re-smoke the window, and it's even gonna go inside the window, which is really neat. Don't worry too much about the lineup, even if you don't do it correctly. Maybe if you aim slightly low, I think it should still serve its purpose. It's just gonna land outside the window if I'm not mistaken. This one is gonna land as well. So you're good to go. I know when I tried to film this video prior, I managed to get the smoke to land here somehow, but I guess it's not as complicated to actually do this smoke as I first thought. I thought you had to be very meticulous about the lineup, but maybe I was just slightly off in one of the axes. And this is basically it, guys. Don't forget to check out my video about the 5 insta smokes for T's, where they smoke off window on spawn position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna link it, or otherwise you can find it on the channel. And I hope these smokes is gonna improve your own gameplay, and see you on the servers.